Welcome back to Stocklabs for another market recap. We are into September now, so back from Labor Day weekend. Summer has really wound down, and the market has started September soft, as is somewhat of a pattern with the month of September. It tends to be the weakest month of the year. Um, basically, there wasn't anything too encouraging from this week for the bulls. Basically, the week started soft, kind of trended down the whole week. There were a couple small-ish up days, but including Friday. But for the most part, everything trended down and was down across the board. So IWM Russell was down 3.6%, Q's down 1.4, S&P down 1.3, and the Dow down 7/10. Crude was up 1.77%. So from prior recap, sort of mentioned that crude is going to really become a focus now, in that it is sort of breaking out again, where you might expect the crude prices to contribute to rates moves. If crude is really breaking out, then rates are going to push higher. Market hasn't liked rates pushing much higher than where they currently are, so things are a bit tenuous across asset classes. Even bonds down 0.5% for the week, TLT. So, it was a risk off week, is really the best way to describe it. As far as the leadership stocks that we keep an eye on, these big guys that tend to drag the indices around. Okay, there were a couple that were up. So Microsoft was up, Tesla was up for the week. Netflix, Google, Meta, they were also green for the week, marginally, but that's big outperformance compared to the Nasdaq that was down 1.4ish. And got Amazon flat, Apple down 6%, Nvidia down 6%. So big losers here. Apple has their event coming up where they tend to announce, new products or updates or whatever. Everybody knows the Big Apple event. They get up on stage, they flash a couple products up there, and people are either impressed or they're not impressed. So we'll see what they have. And Nvidia down 6%. Also, both of these stocks kind of tied into some China news. It seems like China is maybe getting a little more aggressive. Not that the U.S. is not aggressive with them, but you know, China is discouraging, or not discouraging, they're banning government employees from using Apple products, blah, blah, blah. And then semiconductors tend to be weak when the Asian markets are not seeming like they're going to be very receptive to encouraging American tech. So, yeah, that's basically that from breadth for the week. Negative across the board. Utilities kind of flat, but tech down like 4%. Services down. Everything was basically down around 4%, 3.5%, 4% for the median ticker. We didn't have too many. Actually, we don't have any sectors that were even that green. There's a couple things with oil and gas kind of sneaking in here green for the week. But on the downside, we do have a whole slew of things that were getting whacked pretty hard. So this is 25. We got a bunch. We got, I don't know, something like 35, close to 35, 40 sectors that are down over 5% for the week. So there was liquidation going on in the first week of September. Whether that continues, we'll see. If I pull up the breadth metrics by market cap, be able to see. Okay. Yeah, down 3.6% for 1 to 5 billion, and 5 to 10 billion cap stocks were down 3.45%. 10 to 50 billion was down 2%, so slightly better as we moved up the cap range a bit. 50 to 100 billion was down 0.6, so quite a bit better even than the market. And 100 billion plus market caps were down 1.2%. So that was also kind of in line with the general market. Again, you have these big guys like Apple, Nvidia, they fall into this group, and some others were down too. So breadth, you could say, was weak, but more or less mirrored the move in the indices. It wasn't like it was sort of out of whack with what the market was doing. Kind of just in general, stocks were down this week. It was like a sort of vanilla down week for markets overall. If we look at what Stocklabs Intelligence thinks for the coming week, okay, I see Nvidia is bullish this week, Google is bullish this week, short China is bullish, so bearish China this week. Semiconductor index is bullish this week. Europe is bullish this week. Cloud computing, so SaaS or app software stocks, they'll be bullish. They should be bullish this week. Aerospace, defense stocks bullish this week, and inverse banks is bullish. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it sounds like it's going to maybe be a slightly bullish week for markets. If at least the NASDAQ stocks are doing well, then, those are the ones that are kind of have been running things this year. On the downside, there's not a whole lot showing up here. So, okay, the China Bull ETF is bearish. So, again, bearish China. Bearish Alibaba. So, same thing, just in the China space. Retail is bearish. And Dow Jones Internet Bear ETF is bearish. So, yeah, bullish Dow Jones Internet type stocks. So whatever. I mean, this past week was soft to open up September. I mean, we are sort of getting towards oversold levels on the market. I look for this 6-month 6-month algorithm to flash. I hope it hits maybe Monday or Tuesday if we get like a decent down day. We've already gotten a couple here in a row on the 3-month algo. But yeah, I tend to wait for this 6-month one. So if that happens, I think you're kind of all clear to start maybe doing a bit of dip buying in September. We have I think it's actually option expiration this week on Friday. I'm not sure. But if that's the case, there doesn't really tend to be volatility on that day, but leading up to it during the week there could be. So I would look for down move to start the week, kind of continue lower from the prior week just to see sort of test what the bulls are, where the bulls are willing to set up shop and defend their positions. And then from there, I think we work our way back up some. It could be choppy overall, but I think overall, early in the week, you'll see the lows. And, by the end of the week, maybe we're marginally higher. But again, the month overall is soft. So, there's not really any reason to trust a whole lot of the bounces until maybe we're a little bit later or further along in the month. So yeah, that's all from me. Hope you guys have a good week out there, and be back next week to see how it all went. So talk to you later. Bye.